Welcome back to Digiburst, guys. We are here with the finale of BT12 week 1 of locals. We have two titans of BT12 being BlackWarGrey on the right, me piling it, versus Beelzemon on the left. Two decks that got really strong support in BT12. Except for the little bit of a ban list hit from at the Greymon expense. So a little bit of a weaker Greymon showing compared to the Japanese lists. So we'll go into really strong start from the Greymon player getting that rookie and a cool boy, and a little bit of a weaker start and not having a rookie for the nursery in the for the Beelzemon player. But getting that tamer is alright too, and they'll have that Imon there. Now they can either up their nursery. But they'll play that Imon. Imon will have a look at top 4, looking for a Beelzemon or a tamer. No hits, they'll just order up their cards and they'll pass turn. I probably just want to set up so my Greymon is as cheap and strong as possible. Cool Boy will have a look at top 3 for no hits. That's alright, I'll just play probably another tamer to set up my Greymon. Yep, we'll go for that tie and we'll pass turn on 3, getting 3. They'll have a look at their hand. They'll want to probably make a Beelzemon. They'll go into their Wizardmon and then into a Wizardmon X. This Wizardmon X is the X Anybody one, so this one should have blocker rather than the mill effect. So apologies for the week 1 misplays or incorrect effects. So we'll fix that up going into the week 2. So Itmon playing Itmon, then just passing turn. They did get the regain from the tamer and then reorder their deck, which wouldn't have really went off well if the wizard did have the had the correct effect. We'll go into the BlackWar X, so we'll pop the wizard with the X Anybody underneath. We'll swing or activate the X Anybody to go into the BlackWar X. Now this is doing 2 checks, and of course reboot will trash one of their security and then pop their Ipmon. They'll push out. I think they do a really strong play here in order to remove the BlackWarGrey, but this BlackWarGrey doesn't have any protections, so it is very vulnerable to any kill spells that they might have. They'll go into their Wizard X, they'll draw, they'll get their milled, top deck a card first, top deck a card with the eye marker, gain back a memory, and then mill 2. Milling a Beelzemon, they'll add back a Wizard, a Imon, and of course the 7-cost option will put itself into play when it's milled. They'll go into the Beelzemon. Beelzemon will have, this is the mill, yep, for 3, I'm pretty sure on Digivolve. So they'll mill 3. And then any other mill effects, they'll activate the Itmon. No, they'll just hard play that option card, which will kill the lowest play cost Digimon on my board, so that kills the BlackWarGrey. But it gives me a lot of memory to start with, especially because I have a really strong setup with all the cool boys and tie. So I should be able to rebuild from here. But no rookie in the nursery is a little bit concerning. We'll play the Greymon and then go into the Metal Grey to gain back that memory, so it's only 2 costs. Choke them on 1. Now if they can't remove this Metal Grey, this would be very concerning for them. So from the Beelzemon, they can go into a Beelzemon. This is 3 cost, but they'll tap their tamer to gain back that memory, and then they'll activate some mill effects. Beelzemon effect will mill 4, I believe. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sorry, just 2, and then the Itmon will of course mill 3 when this one is milled. The Beelzemon will play an Itmon, and they'll gain back some. Oh, then they didn't mill enough cards in order to keep turn, so they would just check me on 1. We'll go into the Metal X, will tap all the boys to gain back some memory, and then I will draw. I should only draw 2 cards, so I do put that card back, which isn't a big deal because I am just going to see it again when I evo my nursery. The Metal X will also gain that blocker and plus 1k. We'll go into the rookie here, and the BlackWarGrey X will also, the Metal Grey X will also just pop a rookie 6k or less. Now it's only got 2 security, so I am just going to go in here for +1 security attack and then unsuspend and swing in with the Metal Grey promo. BlackWarGrey promo. We'll go into game 2. We are playing with the new Mulligan rules, of course, so we do look at the top 5 and shuffle up if we don't like it again, and then draw a new 5, which is what the Beelzemon player decided to do. They'll go into their Impmon and then find their Tamer. Incredibly strong start here. Having a look at top 4, they probably want to grab that Wizard so they can Evo up or use it for a discard or a mill outlet. But instead they go for the Impmon X. They'll go for the... I'll go for an Agumon. I want to look at top 4. I'm trying to find that tie and Greymon to play a tie. Probably just going to grab that Greymon so I have a good line. Reordering the cards so I can hopefully see that X anybody later. We'll go into the Agumon X, we'll have a look at top 3 again. We'll get that Greymon X, so I'm set up with the Greymon. And then we can go into the Greymon here. I decided not to Evo up my nursery because I wanted to draw and search with the Agumons and hopefully find the Agumon from all the draws, but I just didn't see it, unfortunately. We'll go into the Impmon X and then into the Wizard that they already had, and then into a Wizard X. Now, Wizard X effect, again, shouldn't be activating like this because it would gain blocker instead of the Mill 2 effect. So apologies for the week 1 misuse of effects here. And then I'll go for a Tamer and have a look at top 4, getting that Beelzemon. We'll make sure we'll iron out these incorrect reading of the effects later. We'll go into the Coolboy, have a look at top 3 for no hits, but hopefully I'm set up to go into my Greymon X next turn over my Greymon there. They'll go into the Bow for 3 cost, tapping the Tamers to gain back 2 memory and top deck 2 cards. Deciding which cards I want to top deck, see if they have any strong hits off the effects. Top decking 2, gaining back 2 memory. They'll use the effect to mill 3. The Beelzemon will play back an Impmon if they have an Impmon. They do not have an Impmon. And they'll just put the 7 cost option into play. They'll swing with the Beelzemon, they'll mill 2 cards off the when attacking effect, mill 2 cards off the egg, and then get back some Impmons with the Beelzemon effect when milled, and of course the 7 cost option into play. This is just doing 1 check. And it's got the on deletion effect to play a Beelzemon now that they have 10 or more cards in trash after it would be deleted. They'll hit the Greymon X, which isn't great because it's only at 1 right now, so I won't be seeing it this game. They'll go into the Beelzemon here, they'll get the draw for Evo, and then milling 4. They'll gain back some memory off the option and Wizardmon milled, and gain back a 7 cost option. And of course gain back some memory for having 10 cards in trash. Really strong setup from the Beelzemon player here, but now I am also choked on 1. If I can go... Yeah, I won't be able to make a play here because I'm short on 1 memory. I won't be able to get into that raid. It's a little bit awkward for me. Yeah, pass turn on the Metal X. It might have been argued it would have been better to go into the... if I have a Greymon, I can go into the Greymon in my nursery and then Metal X so I can push out next turn. It's a little bit awkward, especially because my opponent has a really strong initiative here. In order to do some really big damage. They've got plenty of mill effects from the when attacking, setting up their trash really well. I think they can play an Impmon from the Beelzemon. They're going to do some more mill effects from the Impmon before they activate that effect. They're getting back a memory from the option milled, and then they can play a Impmon, I believe. Counting out some cards, they're going to gain some memory off the Beelzemon from when a card is milled. Yep, they're just double checking all those effects. There's a lot going on in this moment. Yep, so this is doing 2 checks because the card was milled. Yep. I guess they decided not to play an Impmon from the Beelzemon effect, or maybe they were just lost in all the effects. But going into the Beelzemon X, trash 2 cards, and then you can just swing with the Impmon. So we will just go into game 3 here. All these effects going off for the Beelzemon player, but of course they don't necessarily need it. They have all the power to them. We'll go into game 3. I think I make the Beelzemon player go first because I want to see that extra card just so I minimize the potential to brick as much as possible. So the Beelzemon player finds their rookie and just plays a Hitmon. Tries to set up a secondary line where they don't have a tamer. We'll go into an Agumon in my nursery here. And I'll go into an Agumon, we'll have a look at top 4. Try to find that tie and Greymon. We'll get that Greymon +1 security deck. Order up my bottom deck, so hopefully I can find that X81 later. We'll go into that Greymon there in the nursery so it's protected and we can push it out next turn. Go into the Witchmon. Witchmon will mill 2 on Evo. On mill 3, sorry. Nice hit with the Wizardmon over in the mill. Have a punch with the Hitmon to take out one of my security. And then he can go into a Balmon over the Witchmon to have another mill of 3. Hitmon will mill 3 more. Nice hit for them. Gain back a memory and get a the level 7 cost option on play, and grabbing an Hitmon 2. Incredibly strong mills from the Hitmon player, especially with how little setup they have. We'll go into the Greymon X into a Greymon here. This will play a tie for me, so I can potentially hopefully keep turn when I go into my Metal X next turn, my Metal Greymon next turn. They'll draw off the Nursery Punch, Nursery Evo, and then just punch with the Hitmon, and then go into the Beelzemon. This will mill 4 cards. They'll gain some memory back with the milled, just mill 2, and then gain back, get their 7 cost. They did pop my Greymon there, unfortunately, and I didn't get my Metal Grey 3 cost. So I Evo up my nursery because I would have passed turn anyway and pray they don't kill me. Going into the Wizard X to mill 2, gain back another memory and then get that 7 cost option. Really lucky, strong mills from the Beelzemon player, especially considering they don't have the Tamer in play to order their mills from their hand. Swinging with the Beelzemon, this is +1 security attack, I believe. No, this must be the other one. So just one hit, they can go for the Beelzemon X, which I think is in their trash. They can grab it back with the 7 cost option. No, I don't see it in their trash. Yep, so they'll grab back a Bale with the 7 cost option, and then go into that Bale to mill 3. There is the blast mode there, and mill 3 more with the Hitmon effect when it's milled. So it's got 5, 10, 15, 20, 21 cards in trash. He can dump that level, the 7 cost option, and grab back the X Anybody. This is for 1 cost. This will trash out the last 2 of my security, and they can swing with the Beels for game. Really efficiently done by the Beelzemon player, but of course was quite lucky with their mills having no setup with the Iron Marcos. So Beelzemon is the winner for the first week of locals. We'll have a deck profile coming up tomorrow for that deck. Hopefully you'll stick around to see that. Subscribe and I'll see you next time.